Hi, I'm Tim, welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you could see it and you could purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing a modern classic from Schaffhausen. This is the IWC Pilot's Chronograph 3706-03, which is to say, it's part of a model series made from 1994 to 2005, but the example here with a full tritium dial was undoubtedly built between 1994 and 2000, as only a handful of IWC timepieces featured full tritium dials as late as 2001. Now the watch on my wrist is a very wearable 39mm in stainless steel. The timepiece is also well sized, though 14.8mm thick. It's neither thick nor thin in that regard. It's wonderfully compact across the wrist for an IWC Pilot's watch at 47.4mm. That's comparable to a Rolex Daytona without a solid end-link bracelet installed. 20mm spacing between the lugs means if you don't love this IWC factory bracelet, I don't know how you couldn't, but if you wanted to swap it out and go for a pure utilitarian NATO-style aviator look, you could throw it on a strap with any number of a universe of 20mm strap options. The bracelet is brilliant. IWC pioneered the idea of the all-sizable bracelet. First of all, the individual links are small and as a result, quite supple. Plenty of gaps between the links to ventilate the wrist and avoid pinching skin or pulling hair, and you can see how laterally every individual link is removable. It's a clever proprietary construction, so with all links removable on both sides, you are going to get a precise fit. This is another loving detail that IWC used to lavish on its watches. The interior of the clasp engine turned. There's a single trigger release to keep this one resolutely closed, and it is a very low profile clasp with a wonderful curvature inside to wrap around the underside of the wrist. The case band is simple and strong. As you can see, satin finish. The dial is of matte finish and the case is of satin finish to reduce glare. Same with the bracelet. There are only a handful of polished highlights, such as, for example, the lip of the bezel and the bevel at the edge of the lugs. Turn it all over and you can see this watch still features its original IWC fish style crown. It has not been replaced with a IWC Probus factory replacement. Shouldered chronograph pushers, and you can see the bevel on the lugs of which I spoke. There's also a strong break between the case band and the vertical lateral profile of the bezel itself, so it has a lateral profile that's vertical and then a broader conical profile in satin finish, leading to a dial that, as I mentioned, is all original factory tritium, so the hands as well as the dial. It clearly draws its style from the Mark series Pilot's watch with that vertically oriented, no-nonsense Arabic numeral font common to aviation instruments on old-style analog flight decks. For pilots, you'll know exactly what I mean. For everyone else, just remember that if you were flying a plane prior to the 21st century, the dash instruments, or I should say flight deck instruments, probably looked a lot like this watch. Now you can see the chronograph registers are favored as they have white chapter rings to emphasize them. Chronograph minutes, chronograph hours, and then at center, chronograph seconds with a lovely bob counterweighted needle style chronograph seconds hand. You have a day and a date, and the watch features a double quick set that allows you to rapidly cycle both. You can see the dial signed tritium, and I'm not going to have a lume shot because none is necessary. You'll also appreciate the fact that the watch features all of the underlying virtues of the Valjoux 7750 on which this IWC modified movement is based. And back in the day, IWC would extensively modify with their own power source, their own regulator, oftentimes even their own balance, hairspring, and sometimes train wheels, so they truly made these movements their own. Now the mechanical specifications of the Flieger Chronograph, they are 60 meters water resistant with a screw down crown. The watch has an internal soft iron cage to better harden it against magnetic forces. It has a 44-hour power reserve automatic winding with unidirectional action, and then it has the stop seconds as well as the double quickset functionality of which I spoke. The 25 joule movement beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It is an efficient winder, durable, tank tough, and precise. Again, before ETA ended delivery of movement kits, IWC ordered very stripped down Abausch or movement kits and supplied everything from the finishing the individual parts to some of the mechanical components and the regulation. That ended in the early to mid-2000s as ETA stopped supplying knockdown kits and insisted on supplying only surface parts or full regulated movements. So this is a wonderful era of IWC, a bygone era of IWC inside as well as outside. Sapphire crystal, in spite of the tritium dial, this watch wears and functions like a modern timepiece. See this modern classic and make it yours on the Watchbox.